What'd you have for breakfast?
Let's see, I had a piece of pumpkin bread that I made and a fruit smoothie that I made yesterday.
That sounds delicious.
It's a good Mother's Day.
Byron's making Mom and I and Soraya shish kebabs today. And we're having all kinds of fun things with the shish kebabs and pie and ice cream. So
Yum.
that's our dinner for today.
That's funny. I'm doing shish kebabs too.
You are, Ken?
Yeah.
I love them.
Shish
So Byron said, what do you want, shish kebabs? And I said, yeah. So I'm doing a delivery to Mom and Soraya, and then we're going to eat here.
Yum, yum.
Look at that little Kaya.
We're going to do surf and turf tonight. We're doing ribeyes with lobster tails.
Whoa.
Okay, I'm coming to your house for lobster after the shish kebabs.
Who said? Oh, Chris said that, huh?
Yeah, you know,
Yes.
about time I start getting back into cooking good stuff.
Hey, Gucci,
Don't
Gucci.
eat too much.
Bow wow.
Hi, Carol. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Cindy.
Tom, what's for dinner at your house?
Nothing fancy. Diane can't eat anything right now, so
Oh, no.
we'll figure something out.
How is she, Tom?
It's okay.
She's not okay. I'm
Trying to find
sorry.
Mom's video jump here.
Our family all says that. How are you? We know you're sick. And, oh, I'm okay.
Yeah.
That's just
That's
how
really
it is.
true. Terry's right.
Cindy, that's you I'm talking to.
I know. I really am okay today.
Oh, Tom's sharing his screen. When Tom's done with this, I got a video of Michelle and her daughter playing. I forget which
Oh,
daughter,
good. I want to.
playing
I
the
haven't
marimba.
seen it.
But I
Oh,
can't
cool.
do. It doesn't work on my computer, so I can't do screen share. But I'll just show it to you on my phone.
This is not.
Where did you all go?
Tom's doing his screen share.
I was trying to get the video to play, but it's taking too much time to load.
Yeah, I might
Okay,
have
I'll get rid of it. Here we go.
Oh.
There's
You
Sue.
can go for it, Paul.
I
Okay.
see.
Siri got me.
This is
Hi,
Michelle.
Sue.
I see Michelle.
That's good
Hi,
on you,
Susan.
girl.
Happy Mother's
That was
Day.
her gift from
Happy
Soraya.
Mother's
Sent her
Day.
a hat.
Who?
I love
She did
that.
good. She
My
did
mom
good.
didn't give me very
Really
many
good in it.
options though, so.
Who's that, Paul? Oh,
This is
okay.
Michelle. She's gonna play the marimba. It's only about 30 seconds.
Okay, go.
Happy Mother's Day. Haley and I are going to play a song for you. I learned this in 8th grade. She's going in 8th grade. We hope you like it. We wanted you to hear it. 1, 2, ready, go.
Oh, I love that number.
Love you. Happy Mother's
Oh,
Day.
I love that.
What I love is that she's got Haley playing it now, and Mom Haley
Hold on.
is
Let me go get my
loving
cord.
it. And
Good.
Michelle,
Couldn't get any of you kids to do it.
she's just picking it. Michelle says Haley's picking it up like crazy, and she loves it. So that was awesome. Thank you, Paul, for asking me to get her to
Got
do
low
that.
battery.
You're welcome. Oh, Ken, you're done, or who's that? Oh, somebody's coming on?
I talked to him and then the second time.
Oh, Kathy's battery.
Yeah,
Kathy's
come
coming
Oh,
on.
my battery's dying, so I've got to get a cord.
Oh,
Her battery was dying, so she lost video.
Did we ever hear Sherry was
Michelle
going
and
to
Haley
join?
played the room. It was
Whose battery
amazing.
died?
she said,
I heard her say, I thought she
Yeah,
said,
Paul had
she
me
was trying to join.
tell her to send him a
She
movie.
texted.
I sent her the link this morning and then she said that her kids showed up, so she wasn't gonna make it. So
Who's that?
Sherry,
Sherry.
I told her
Oh,
to come on.
Sherry.
I told her to come on and let her kids say hi, but I don't know if she'll make it or not.
And Helen won't be coming on either.
Oh,
No
okay.
Helen today?
So we got everybody that's on. Should we start our chat?
Mark just called me on my phone. So shall I go calling back right now or just wait?
Call them and put them on
Let's
speaker.
Yes, Mark
Can you
has a
mind
Samsung.
waiting?
You can join with a Samsung
Yeah.
phone, can't you?
Yeah, just a smartphone.
Join with any phone.
Any phone.
I
He said you
showed him
can't
how to
join
set
'cause you
it all up and do
Record.
it.
I don't want to record.
Who are you showing?
What is
That's
it?
our jump.
Oh, that's your
Our jump
skydiving
picture.
picture.
It's not coming in very good. There it is.
There it is. There it is. Now I
You want to
can
I
talk
just
to
saw those on my
everybody
phone
that's
the
on the call?
Anyways,
see it.
The CCO.
So we can say hi to him really quick.
Tell him to
Okay,
join
I
in.
will call you when we're all done zooming, okay?
See you, Mark.
Love
Bye,
you,
Mark.
Mark. Bye-bye.
I love you. Tell Lori Happy Mother's Day. Okay.
I'll call him back, I told him. So, we're fine.
And Betty's gonna join us next time. She wasn't able to get on today.
Okay.
Oh,
that will
cool. That will be fun.
Ooh.
That will be awesome.
Chris and Susan, the way you're sitting there right now, I'm trying to think of a million captions to put in front of you. That would go with how you look, but I can't think of one right
I
now.
like that hat.
I do too.
You look great in hats. I wish I did because I love them, but I look terrible in them. I'm trying to find a picture of Mom and I that you guys will love because it's so Mom and I at the end of every school year for years have done what we call a circus show with puppets for hundreds of kids at the preschool where I teach. And because it's the mess up year with the virus and it's my last year, I was going through pictures to send to my teacher friends that wanted to see them. And so I thought I would show you guys if I can find it, I should have already found it, us in our clown suits. So I'll keep looking. People just talk and I'll keep looking and see if
The
I
fun
can.
thing was we'd go over to Zupa's and have lunch in our clown outfits. And
Oh,
they
no.
look at us like we're crazy.
In between shows. No, it was awesome. Mom and I were so proud. We'd walk in there and like people old and young would go, oh my gosh, why are you dressed up? What's going on? And then we'd say we were preschool teachers. And that was like the coolest thing ever to people. So yeah, I never think about how cool it is that I'm a preschool teacher, but that day, every year, huh, Mom? We
Yeah,
know we're cool. Yes, we do.
it was fun.
Whoever said clowns aren't cool, take it back.
Exactly.
Oh, cute.
Oh my God.
Yes, looking very-
Oh my gosh, who had that picture?
Wasn't that one of the ones I downloaded and sent out?
Now see, that is awesome.
I love
I'm
Eric.
trying to find this. I don't know if I'll ever be able to find it. Darn.
Okay,
Probably
Kathy,
fine.
don't move. Nobody move. I'm trying to take a picture and somebody always moves every time I do. And then they're out.
Okay, I'll hold still.
Ready? Chris and Susan are a little dark though. They look like they're in incognito.
That's just how they look.
Maybe they are.
There you go. Okay.
Hi, Andy. I saw you.
Where is he?
Everybody.
That was me.
There he is. There he is.
That was me.
Shoulder. There he
Hi,
is.
Andy. Hi, Andy.
Hey.
Hello.
Are you second Nephi? Carol's first Nephi. Are you second Nephi?
Oh, we lost.
We lost picture, I know.
Happy belated birthday, Andy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, real quick, here's a classic picture for you.
How do you get back?
Oh, there.
Really? Gosh.
Look at that wallpaper.
Why did you have that picture?
That's from one of the ones I downloaded and gave everybody a copy of.
Yeah, I'm going through the file Chris downloaded. It's
I don't even have it.
Yes,
What
you do.
file?
Are you
what
sure you're
file?
on it?
I gave everybody a thumb drive. Carol gave you a thumb drive.
Oh, the one you gave me a long time ago?
Yeah, years ago. Mom's
On
80th
that? Okay, yeah, it's
birthday.
in my drawer with
No,
all
not
the
80th. That was at the little family reunion thing we did, right? In
Yeah,
St.
St. George.
Yeah,
I
No, that
wasn't in
that
St.
was at
George.
somebody's wedding.
I know. That was
Carol
Nancy.
gave it to you.
That was,
I was the only one missing.
yeah, but
Okay,
I
I
gave
got
Carol,
the picture. See if you
I
guys
gave
can
Carol
see
a thumb
this.
drive and she gave it to you.
I think I have it.
Little
That was,
closer, Sandy.
that was Nancy's wedding, actually.
Yeah, that was my wedding day.
It's shining. It's
It's
shining.
a lot of glare.
Look at the cloud.
There it is.
Nice.
That's it.
Let's see if I can push it
We got big
down.
clouds.
There
up
we
here.
are. Can you
And
see
you went
it?
to lunch like that?
Oh, yeah. We actually didn't take the puppets in with us. We
Did you
just left
scare
them
any
for-
children? Did you scare any
Did
adults?
you roll the windows down?
No, everybody got a big kick out of it. It was really fun. Every year we would do that. One year we even went to the mall because we went to Zupa's, had our lunch, and then we still had like 25 minutes to kill in between shows. So then we walked all over the mall, and that was really fun too, huh, Mom?
Yeah.
We have no shame at all.
If only you could make blue animals, then you could have made some cash.
I know, I should have learned.
Well, do you guys want to start with your memories that we were talking about?
Sure.
Should we go oldest to youngest? Start with Cindy?
No, you went oldest last time, so why don't you start
Oh,
youngest?
start youngest to oldest then?
Sure.
Oh, because my memories are of the grandkids because I'm the youngest. I hung out with all the grandkids. So I think you should start oldest and go down to me.
Well, so tell us your memories of the grandkids.
Well, I don't have like, I don't know. I felt lame trying to think of things. So basically I don't remember Cindy, Mark, Scott, Kathy, Sherry ever being without a spouse. Like that's always been it. And so in my life, I've always traveled with Mom. And so I was thinking of some of the travel memories. Of course, I got to go to St. Louis quite a bit and hang out with Cindy's family. And so Eric and Michelle and I especially, we would get to go under their basement stairs and we would create clubs where we would try to save all of our money so that I could fly back out to St. Louis so I could spend more time with them because they were just, I loved being out there. I remember driving with Sherry and Mark, and it must have been a station wagon that we drove in, and I remember riding in the back of the car, so obviously no seat belts, holding baby Landon, and I think I must have been like 9 years old or something like that. And I remember we stayed at the Mesquite Hotel, and we played on the elevators, and we pushed the alarm button, and we made the elevator stop and the alarm buzz. But that just reminded me now, actually, Chris, Ken, probably would have been us. We went to Mesquite Hotel once, and it was like a total lightning storm. And we went swimming in the middle of the lightning storm. Do you remember that?
Yeah, we weren't the smartest.
Yeah, that was the
Peppermill. Wasn't it called the Peppermill Lodge? Is that still there?
Yeah. Wait, where were the grown-ups?
I'm pretty sure Mom was resting in the hotel room because she was,
we used
tired.
We used to be able to take off and do whatever.
Well, we'd also we'd buy fireworks and we'd do fireworks in the parking lot. And one time the police came and yelled at us.
It was the older children that were obedient.
Other
Except
memories,
me, I was not. But we'll get into that another. No, we won't
I
get
do
into it.
remember making a movie theater in Sister Hildreth's garage, and we would have like concession stands. I don't know if you guys remember that. And we would also go to the Pates, and we would make videos, and we would do like Madonna's Material Girl. I totally remember that one. And we had like a whole dance and stuff that we would do, and we would make funny videos over there. I don't know, but I don't have memories with everybody, unfortunately. I remember bugging Tom and Diane when they were dating. I would go into Tom's room all the time. And if I remember, I was encouraged to do that while they were dating. Like Mom would be like, yeah, go in there, go see what they're doing. So just fun memories.
Again,
Kathy,
I don't think
remember
Diane
me-
was ever in my room.
You had the downstairs den. I remember.
It was another girl.
Because we would talk about Cabbage Patch dolls. So, and Kathy, I remember we somebody just posted this picture on Facebook, but we came to Kathy's house
Doors were open.
and she did the little kiddie pool and filled it with hot water from her hot water heater. And I remember being so jealous because Chris, Ken, and Paul got to be in the pool and I didn't. I was sad about that time. So
here, I have a picture of
anyway.
that.
Yeah, so but I have a lot of memories of the grandkids from all of our travels. I definitely loved being Mom's travel buddy, going all around. I got to go see a lot of the United States with Mom and got spoiled in that way. So I think that's probably it. When you guys talk, I'll probably remember more things, but.
That's what I'm thinking too. Okay, Chris, you're next. Are you still looking for that picture?
I have that picture of us in the tub, but it's not in my phone. It's on my Facebook account. But anyway, this is always a fun one of me and Marion right there.
Yes, I love that picture. I love that picture.
Marion showing off her legs. But yeah, I'll find that picture there.
Woo-hoo!
You're trying to be a stud.
Let's see. So memories, I was thinking, and then Ken texted out we should have some memories of mom, and so I thought of one when I was, I think I was about maybe 12 or 13, that I thought I'd play a trick on mom while she was having some home teachers over, and the kids, we were out playing in the cul-de-sac. So you guys remember those the blood capsules that you could put in your mouth, and then you'd spit it out and made it look like blood? I put like 3 of those blood capsules in my mouth, and then I just let it drool down and get all over my shirt and everything, and then I ran in while she's having the home teachers over, and I told her I got hit in the face with a ball or something like that, and she panicked, and then she took me to the sink and started cleaning out everything, and then she couldn't find any wounds, and that's when I started laughing, and she realized it was a joke, and then she got so mad at me, and I felt so bad. And then just like 2 weeks later, I was being punished. I was riding a bicycle, and the chain came off, and so I put the chain back on. And I kept riding the same bicycle. I went down to feel the chain to see how loose it was. And not even thinking, I grabbed the chain and my hand went through the sprocket and it punctured all 4 fingers and sliced them open. And then I ran in the house and to tell mom, and I thought for a minute, I'm like, she's going to think I'm joking again. But anyway, she came to my aid and helped me. But that's funny you think that Marion brought up the hot water heater at Kathy's, because I think of that all the time. That was a lot of fun. And then one of the best childhood memories I have is always building the furniture forts at Mimi and Grandpa with the red vinyl furniture.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yep.
that was a lot of fun. And then even when Scott and Helen got that furniture, we continued building forts for a little while, and then their kids started building forts. So that was fun. But yeah, Peppermill was fun, man. We used to have a lot of fun in Mesquite there. And our trips to Vegas and staying at Circus and winning all the stuffed animals.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
A lot of fun time.
Don't go to
Well,
Vegas.
then,
Circus,
when we went to Circus, my dad won me a prize.
So yeah, so
That's what
to
I was
add to
going to
that,
say, Carol.
I took my family to Circus and Susan's sister when she was visiting. And that was the first time I'd been back in, I don't know how many years, probably 15, 20, 30, long time. But anyway, I went in there. And, it was the one where you roll the ball and you get a number, and then the horses run. And I told my kids, I'm like, oh, your dad used to kill it at this. Watch, I'm going to win first prize. I sit down with 17 contestants, and I destroyed everybody and got Soraya this huge. What I get? Cool. Oh, the big
unicorn from Despicable Me.
Barley.
No.
No, the big unicorn from Despicable Me. And then I played another game, and I won one of you.
2 annoying oranges.
Oh
Yeah, annoying orange.
But it was pretty fun to prove to them that I still had the skills to roll. It was a fun time. Yeah, who knows how long it's going to be before Vegas is back to normal. It's going to be strange.
Yep. Did you run down the strip, Terry?
No, Terry. We went and just drove down it again. I still want to take my bike down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been way too busy to run, so too tired by the end of the day.
Yeah.
Hey, Ken.
All right, Ken, I think you're up.
So it's funny that a couple nights ago I was thinking about, oh yeah, we got to come up with stories. And I was going through all kinds of things in my head. It kept me up till like 4 a.m. So thanks a lot. But yeah, I'm like, oh, I should write that down. I'm going to forget. I'm going to should I share something funny? I'm trying to think, well, who can memories of each sibling, or I don't know. So it'd be fun to get together in person and just go off on stories one day. But I just, like Chris just reminded me of a circus story that hadn't thought about. But I don't know if him and Paul remember. We went to a water park there. I don't know if you're staying with Cindy or Scott and Helen at the time, but the Utah
You
water
say
park.
water park. I know what you're going to say right now. Go ahead.
Worst day of my life. Mom told me, make sure you put on sunblock to all of us. You guys listen. And I'm like, I don't need no sunblock. Come on. You know, and we ended up being there for like 15 hours or something, and I never put on any sunblock the whole time. You guys kept reapplying, and I was teasing you. And then I got fried, and I got blisters on my
Huge
shoulders.
blisters. They're
Blisters
huge.
that were like,
Giant
some of them
blisters.
were, yeah, some of the blisters were like an inch tall, and some were, 3 inches by an inch high, and it ruined the whole rest of my trip. I couldn't go outside. If I walked in the sun, it killed. So I remember just watching them play out in the backyard, crying because I couldn't go out. I forget how old I was, 11 or something.
Yeah,
But-
I always felt bad because I was the big brother and I didn't make you put it on. You know,
Yeah, I'm so mad.
we were putting it on. You're like, no, I don't need it. I'm like, okay, whatever. I
Hey,
didn't
you
like
should have
fight
made
with
me. I'm just So I learned my lesson. I always put on sunblock at that. But anyways, so I had those big blisters, right? And on our way home, we stopped at Circus. And I was wearing just like a loose T-shirt, but I was still pretty miserable walking around. I could hardly move my arms. And then Mike Terrio, an old friend who ended up being our bass player in the event, happened to be there. He runs up. He's like, "Hey, Ken!" And he slaps me on the shoulder. Pop! And everything exploded, and all this pus went down my chest and soaked through my shirt. And I think I did my best not to cry in front of my friend.
I'm surprised you didn't get. Did you get like 3rd-degree burns? I mean, did you?
It was bad. There were blisters all over, and I wish I would have got pictures of the blisters at the time, but it was pretty extreme. So,
Do you have any scarring?
I don't have scars that I don't think so. But
Remember we went to an arcade that night or the next night. Do you remember going to an arcade and you had the blisters and you went and put a rifle up against your shoulder to play one of the games?
Is that? Maybe it was that.
And
Okay.
it popped and got your shirt all soaking wet.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's it. I might be getting my memories crossed, but something like that. Anyway,
Yeah.
You reminded me of that one. But
And that was it was Seven Peaks Water Park there in Utah.
yeah. And I remember you also talking to some guy thinking it was me or something. That was another trip, I think, where you had a conversation with somebody and they realized it wasn't me.
Yeah, I still do that. I still do that all the time.
But again, I had some funny memories. I don't know if Paul or Terry will remember this, but I tell the kids about back in the day, you couldn't just buy ranch at the grocery store. Mom used to have to make homemade ranch all the time.
Yep.
She'd make giant bowls of it. Do you guys remember that? You just have like a big silver bowl of ranch. And so I'd get all excited when there was ranch made. It'd be like, one day I come home and I open the fridge. I'm like, oh, Mom made ranch, sweet. And you guys are just kind of watching me. I'm already suspicious that you're not eating it. You and Terry just sitting there at the counter watching me. And I'm like, that's ranch, right? And you guys are like, yeah. And there happened to be carrots there were carrots in the fridge. So I took the long carrots. Again, we didn't have baby carrots back then, so I had to shave off all the, the outer carrot and stuff and get my carrots ready. I'm all excited. And I get these carrots ready. And you guys are just still watching me. And I just dip that first carrot in. I soak it all in there. And I'm just like, man, they're not trying to fight me for this ranch. This is awesome. And it was pancake batter.
Probably tasted really good.
They just started laughing at me. They were just waiting the whole time. I knew something was up because I'm like, there's never this. If this was ranch, it wouldn't have lasted this long. Not in our house. But anyway, so that was one thing. And they did another joke. I don't know if they remember this one too. I don't know if I was just dumb, but I had a bowl of cereal, and I took what I thought was sugar, turned out salt, poured it all my cereal, and again they were watching and laughing at me once I bit into it. I used to put way too much sugar on my cereal. I think it was even sugar on Captain Crunch. That's how bad it was.
I did that when we were in
but,
Hawaii.
so those were
The
some,
thing that too was I put a bunch of salt on my cereal, and Sister Chua forced me to eat the whole bowl because she didn't want me to waste all it. Here's that picture Marion was
Here you
referring
go.
to.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great pic.
Woo.
Sexy.
Is that you and Paul?
That's me, Paul, and Ken.
Oh, you, Paul, and Ken.
That's in Kathy's backyard, and in the little pool we filled from her water heater.
Oh, that's cute.
Funny.
coincidentally, it's a frog pool with frog in the pool.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then let's see, Chris reminded me of something else. Just speaking of Sister Tua, do you remember Chris when she was learning to drive stick?
No, I don't.
Okay, so I didn't know if you. So he late in life learned to drive stick. They had a little yellow Volkswagen Bug, I believe. And I didn't understand stick and automatic. All I knew is Sister Tua couldn't drive, and it scared me to death. She was learning how to drive on this little Bug and offered to take me home. And we're going in the middle of the intersection up where all those gas stations are, and we totally died there. She couldn't start it, and I'm almost about to panic. And I'm just like, when I finally got home, I'm like, please don't ever, Sister Tua, ever take me home again. I just thought she didn't know how to drive. I didn't realize it was because she was learning a stick. But a cool thing I remember with all our trips and everything is, tying into the Volkswagen bus. I remember we used to unscrew the middle seat out of the bus, and we would put padded down to the floor of the van as we were traveling. Does anyone else remember doing that?
Yeah.
Yep. I remember brown, had like brown material on the floor.
Yeah, brown pad, right?
Hi, Helen.
Hey, Helen.
Happy Mother's Day.
Hi.
So let me doing that. One other story I'll share is, and then I'll be done. That'll take up all the time. Is I remember Mark took us younger boys shooting. I think it was Terry, Paul, me, and Chris, all four of us, going shooting, and he had like a 22 and a crossbow. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, it was in Poway.
One of the 22 shells burned my shoulder because it went down inside my
When it was
shirt.
my turn to shoot, Chris stood next to me where the shells ejected, and boom, when I shot, I did a couple of rapid fires, and the shells went down his shirt. He just started yelling.
No wonder they survived life.
And then Mark later goes, "Oh yeah, I should tell you not to stand next to the gun there." But
Do you
anyway,
remember, was that with the pond and we were shooting the frogs? Do you remember that? The
I
frogs
can't
would stick
remember.
their
I
eyes
remember-
out of the water and we'd shoot them?
I remember him shooting his crossbow through a surfboard to show us how powerful it was, that we found some random surfboard and he shot it with a crossbow, but that's all I can remember from that. So
Yeah, and there was, I was shooting the 22 and there was a dragonfly flew by and I was standing next to Cherry and I go, watch this, and I shot it in half while it was in flight. Luckiest shot of my life.
tell that story to your top friends, huh?
Here's a good picture of the whole family together.
Yeah, I like that.
I like that one because everybody's in it.
I like it too. It's a great picture.
Because most of the family pictures we have, somebody's on a mission or somebody, recently got married or something. It's just we're missing people, but this is one where we're all together. And Marion has her lovely braces on her leg.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you're your feet.
Yeah.
On your feet.
On her feet.
Oh, and I do have a question. Carol and Nancy, which one of you would always blast Saturday's Warriors on Sundays? Whether we're getting ready for church, I remember you guys playing Saturday's Warriors.
I'm gonna guess it's probably me. I don't remember because I still to this day sing songs to my grandkids from Saturday's Warrior and My Turn on Earth.
I know a bunch of those songs too from you playing them, but we were talking about it because my kids have never seen it, and I started singing some of it, and I'm like, yeah, my sisters used to play this all the time, so all those songs are in my head, line upon line.
It could have been me.
Yeah.
It could have been me.
And I remember all the songs. I remember all the songs from Greece too.
Like black
What?
Terry, what?
Terry, you go first.
Wait, what did Terry just say?
I said the only thing Carol ever listened to was like Isley, Jasper and Isley, and Cool and the Gang, and the Commodores, and
Wind and Fire, Prince.
all the
Bernie.
stuff.
And then it became Prince and Michael Jackson later on.
Michael Jackson, I remember that.
So see, I remember all the songs from Greece too because Carol and Nancy and Laura and Moana and stuff, they all watched it so many times when we were in Hawaii.
I
Hey,
remember
well,
Nancy and Laura V acting
me
it
and
out.
Carol, I don't know who else was there, but it was me and Carol. We were down in the basement in Mimi and Grandpa's house, and we watched a Jerry Lewis movie that we memorized, and we acted out as we watched the movie.
I
We knew
remember.
it so well. Did you do it too, Terry?
Yep.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Lots of good memories at Mimi and Grandpa's old house.
Okay,
Yeah.
Terry, go ahead.
Oh,
Paul, one at a
Hold
time.
on, it's my turn. All right, since it's Mother's Day, I wrote a list of some mom memories. One thing that's always stuck with me is that she was always there when I came home from school. And all through elementary school and junior high, she pretty much every day she was home when I walked in the door. And those few days that she wasn't, I just remember kind of being like, oh, mom's not home. It just felt empty inside. And that was awesome that she was always there for me, for all of us anyways. And I remember making donuts in the fry baby on rainy days. For some reason, I associate that with rainy days after school, making donuts in the fry baby or the Indian fry bread or whatever, that stuff too. But that was always fun. And I don't, it's a very vague memory. I'm sure we've all had the experience of going to FedMart and having 5 baskets of food.
10
And,
baskets. I remember
I used to
10.
get so embarrassed when I had to go shopping and I was in junior high school and I had to be the partner to mom. It's like, I hope no one I know is in here seeing all this food we're buying. Anyway, go ahead.
And we would, to keep the kids calm, she would give us like Hostess ding dongs or the snowballs, you know, with the coconut on them to keep us, we'd eat those while we're shopping to keep us quiet. And then
Yeah,
she'd just take the wrappers up to the checkout stand.
Then we get to share a half of hamburger and a half of fries and a half of shake from McDonald's when we get done.
I don't remember
There's
doing the
lots of
halves.
kids.
Yeah.
I remember the one time we went to FedMart and they, over the loud speaker, one time they said, Naylors are here.
I think I
Yeah.
remember that.
And one time we were driving there, and in the bus, it had the 2 separate front seats that were about this far apart. And I remember as a kid, I'd stand on the bus while we're driving, and I'd put my hands on those seats, and I'd swing. And I finally got to where I could do flips while we're driving. I'd do flips in the car while we're driving. And Mom had, I don't know, Chris or Marion on her lap, and they pulled the key out of the bus, and she couldn't get it back in to turn it off. So we couldn't go to FedMart, so we had to drive to a mechanic to get the key back in so they could turn the car off for some reason. I don't know why, but that's just a funny memory. And so after that, I remember saying, "Don't pull the key out, don't pull the key out," because you couldn't get it back in to turn the car off. Yeah, I don't remember who that was. Probably Chris. I think Marion would have been too young at the time. And something I kind of amazed at how many people she helped get through Scouts to the rank of Eagle Scout. And I remember raising money for projects and stuff, and we'd fill the old Vista Cruiser station wagon. I'd get 1,000 pounds of newspaper in there. We'd go recycle the newspaper. We'd stack that thing up. I'd have, the middle seat, the back, under my feet, and the passenger seat would all be newspapers, and we'd go recycle that. And that was fun. She would always take me down to recycle it. Whenever I got enough newspapers, I go collect it from everybody on the block. That was a fun thing. And one thing, I don't know if I've ever told you this, probably have at some point, but I remember one year I got some new clothes for Christmas, and I got an OP shirt that I thought was really cool. And it was the day of or the day after Christmas, brand new shirt, first time I ever wore it. And we go up to Stanley Junior High, and there was some drops that, like where the dirt terraced off, it dropped about 10 feet and, kind of smoothed out like that. And we'd jump our bikes off and see how far we could get down to the bottom. And one time I jumped a little too far and I wiped out, and I just did like a Superman on the dirt. And I got up and my shirt was torn to bits. I was like, oh no, it's my brand new shirt. My mom's going to be so mad. So I went home and I snuck in and I changed my shirt, and then I went and threw that in the outside trash so she'd never know. I tore my brand new shirt. So I don't know if I've told you that story, Mom.
Nope,
maybe not.
You haven't.
But
I'm sure there's lots of things I don't know.
But yeah, that was kind of a funny story that I just always remember. I don't know, for some reason I remember that one. And let's see.
They just keep coming, and they are so
Hold on, let me mute Cindy for a minute here.
Thank you, dog.
That reminds me, Paul, you bringing up the bicycle. Do you guys remember the Christmas from Nancy down? We all got brand new bikes that one year, and we took them up and rode them through the Big Bear parking lot when it was really foggy.
I remember that.
You guys remember that?
Just because you just said it, I wouldn't have remembered it had you not remembered it.
We all got
I don't
brand new
remember the
bikes
ride.
down. We all took them out riding, and that Christmas happened to be super foggy, and we were just cruising through the Big Bear parking lot. That was one of my best Christmas memories as a kid.
Yeah, I remember going out and riding the bikes around. Yeah, That was fun.
All right, sorry.
That's all right. Well, let me share one other thing. It's not for mom, but when I was in elementary school, I don't know how old I was probably 10 or something, and walking home from school from Spreckles, something happened on the way between, the 1 block between our house and the school. And I started arguing with a kid, and his big brother got in on it, and his big brother was threatening to beat me up. And I got really scared, so I ran home, or I was running home, and Scott came home, and he was driving the bus, and he came home, and he saw me running. He's like, "What's wrong?" And I said, "Oh, this kid threatened to beat me up." So he's like, "Get in the car, let's go get him." So we jumped in the bus, and we go driving down the street, and Scott, like, these kids were walking down the street, I'm like, there they are. And Scott, he jumped out of the bus and he confronted the kid, and he's all like threatening him, "Don't you ever threaten to beat up my brother again." So I thought that was really cool. I was like, yeah, my big brother's looking out for me. So that was really cool.
They didn't think he was your dad?
They might have. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. And another funny thing in the bus and Scott is, I remember one time on Stetson Avenue, just around the corner from our house, he crashed into a parked car, and he was dating some girl at the time. I don't know who it was, but we all teased him that he was daydreaming about his girlfriend, and he crashed into a parked car.
I was going to share that same story because he wasn't paying attention. He hit the neighbor's parked car.
Yeah.
Went around the corner too fast.
So that's it for me. I just had some quick ones.
Okay, I'll go real quick. I only did a couple. The first one was in honor of Mom. I don't know if you guys remember that I went up in the middle of the night with a couple friends, Glenn Loveland being one of them, and we poured kerosene on the speed bumps of the high school, and then we jackhammered them out.
Yeah.
And we got caught, and they had to pay it back, but there was some ladies in the grocery store line talking about the vandals that damaged the school, and Mom was behind them in line. And she stepped up and defended my actions. Trouble for vandalizing the school. So I thought that was that was always pretty cool. That was one of my favorite stories about Mom defending me. Another story that I always tell people when they tell me their kids sleepwalk is I remember Paul getting up in the middle of the night, going next door to the neighbor's house and peeing in their closet. Because nobody locked their doors, and he sleptwalked out of our house next door to, who was next door to us?
Leesenberg?
Yeah, Leesenberg. Yeah, and he went into their front door, opened their closet, and peed, and they caught him peeing in the middle of the night. So that was one of my favorite stories about Paul.
I forgot. I remember sleepwalking. I don't remember obviously doing it, but I've forgotten about that altogether.
And then my biggest, what I thought was a secret, was I learned how to pick the lock on the storage room door, and I'd pick the lock and go in there and eat stuff. And I'd sneak back out because I always wanted whatever was in there. I don't know. And then for me, the
chocolate chips.
Biggest memories were always Christmas. How much fun we always had together with Christmas. Getting
all the neighbors coming to watch us open our presents because they were all done and we hadn't even started.
Yeah, just everything. And Mom taking hours to hang tinsel one at a time on the tree and everything else. And
and then take it off to use it again next year.
See, this is when we need Aunt Betty. We can talk about Aunt Betty's. Didn't she make cinnamon rolls?
Oh, she made everything.
Yeah, she made everything. I remember cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, she made divinity
for breakfast. She always made breakfast. And then she got her slippers, or she always got a new pair of slippers.
She used to take us to Toys R Us and let us pick out a toy, at least us younger ones. I remember that. We'd always get Atari or ColecoVision games.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that.
The ColecoVision. I remember having a jar to save up to buy games for that.
An Aunt Betty story was before I moved to San Diego, she took us to Hawaii, and she made me wear a suit and a tie on the airplane. So that was but last memory real quick was, for some reason I hung out with Carol a lot, and we were being really mean to her friend. What was your friend's name down the street?
Linda?
Bobby Jean.
Yeah,
no,
Bobby
Linda was
Jean.
mine.
Bobby Jean.
Bobby Jean.
So we were teasing Bobby Jean. We ran home and hid up on the top bunk in our bedroom so she couldn't find us. And she was so mad. I think Carol was like over the girl drama, but Mary Jean was so upset that Carol was not being a good friend. So those are some quick ones. Oh, since Helen's on, I'll tell a real quick one. I went and stayed at their house, and we went to a bookstore for some reason. I found some book on baseball that I really wanted. And Scott told me he would buy it as long as I would go to Helen's parents' bowling alley and wax all the lanes. So he took me over there one morning. He bought me the book. It's probably like $2. and I had to help wax the bowling lanes at their bowling alley. So anyway, those are my quick memories. There's a whole bunch more, but those are just some fast ones.
Well, hopefully he let you bowl after you were done.
He actually grabbed me by the back of my pants and slid me down the lanes head first.
Oh, that's exactly what I meant, but.
Yeah. So anyway, go ahead, Nancy.
Okay. Well, when you asked us to do this, I couldn't think of anything. And I'm like, I feel like when we get together, you guys know more stories about me than I know about me. And we need to do that sometime. We need to share stories of each other because I think that's fun too. But I'm just going to say what I tell my grandkids sometimes when they ask me questions about growing up and stuff. Some of my funnest memories were just playing kick the can, capture the flag, murder in the dark in the cul-de-sac with all the neighbors, walking to the pharmacy and buying candy, all those little fun things. But I mean, I don't have any like little in particular cool fun story except for with mom. One that's always stood out that I always thought was fun was I was 15, couldn't date yet, but I begged and pleaded for her to let me go to the homecoming dance at the high school. And I actually got asked by 3 guys. One was actually a senior, but I turned the 2 down because I was hoping the 3rd one would ask me, and he did. So I was dying to go, and mom said, well, you can go after a bunch of begging and pleading. She goes, you can go, but Carol has to drive, and Carol has to drive you. And Carol has to drive you to the dance, pick you up from the dance, take you to Farrell's, pick you up from Farrell's, and bring you home. And at first, I don't remember my reaction to that, but it's always been a really cool memory. Didn't you drive the LTD, Carol, and you wore a hat and you looked like my limo driver? So she pretended like she was my limo driver. I thought that was pretty cool. Had a great night. Thanks, Mom. And but you know, like you guys bring up things and it brings up a lot of memories. So I'm not gonna, you know, go on like Mimi's house. I tell the grandkids about the candy and cookie cupboard. All the cookies. There was that one cupboard that you go in and open it up, and there's tons of cookies, mostly cookies. And then just going downstairs in the basement. And Grandpa's eyeball up in the attic, that was freaky. Yeah. Things like that. But just growing up, I don't remember. You know, I remember having a Snoopy birthday. I remember the pool in the backyard. But I don't have any stories that I can think of. That's why I think it's fun to hear your guys's, because then it brings up. I remember going pollywog hunting down behind in the canyon. That was always fun. Those are just memories I remember because my grandkids talk to me about growing up and stuff, and I'm like, I used to do this. I used to do this. So, but I don't even know. You know, brothers, sisters. Some I have more. You know, can think of more memories. Some not as many, but they're nothing. You know, like a storytelling.
Nancy, Mimi and Grandpa's.
Of course, I remember Carol the most in the battles we had, unfortunately, but thankfully we don't have those anymore. Yeah.
Nancy, do you remember at Mimi and Grandpa's talking about different things there? He had a penny jar and we divvy it up when we went to visit him.
Yes.
He had change. And one year we were waiting for him to offer it to us. We didn't want to ask him. So we're all saying, Kenny is a penny, Kenny is a penny. So he'd think about the change jar. Does anybody remember that?
I hated that, by the way.
Oh, we'll remember that. Well, I remember too. I don't know who else. Which of all of us had been to Mimi and Grandpa's house in LA? With the scary basement and the scary attic.
Everybody.
Marion probably doesn't remember.
I don't know. Marion probably doesn't remember it.
Yeah, I don't know it at all.
Ken, were you ever there? I don't know when they moved.
Yeah, I remember going there.
You remember going there?
Yeah,
Well,
building the forts in the basement out of the furniture. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you were talking about. Yeah, and then I know Scott and Helen had that red couch, and I remember when Scott and Helen had the red couch, and I went to their house, and I ended up having really bad head lice. And I'm like, oh, I'm glad you guys didn't. You had that couch because the head lice won't stick to you.
Gross.
I had it so bad. I knew where I got it from too. Anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh. In Mimi and Grandpa's house, the curtains by the kitchen table.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember doing
yeah.
little skits up and behind the curtains?
Yeah, we'd use it as a
That was in
stage.
the dining room.
That was in the dining room.
Dining room.
Dining room.
Dining room. Yeah. And they had that breakfast time.
Yeah.
That's where I learned what a buffet was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, just I mean, like Paul, a lot of Christmas memories. I always just remember the stories Mom told at Christmas, those little flannel board stories that I've always wanted copies of that. And just, the basic growing up. I'll probably think of more stories later on after everybody talks, but that's kind of my thing. I always feel like I had a great childhood, great growing up. And I remember things that I probably don't want to talk about. But so anyway, on to Tom. Carol, sorry. Carol.
I'm still younger than Tom. So I just have a couple, and Ken's blister story triggered me. Do you remember, Terry, when you had that cyst on your neck and you had to get it packed? And Mom would pull it out, and there was so much pus and gross. And every day she had to pull out a certain amount, and there would be the pus on there. That was amazing to me. I'm like, wow, that is so cool. Oh, there's a scar.
Yep.
The other big thing, the other thing is, Mom, remember past the days of before microwave popcorn, we had the hot air poppers.
Yeah.
She's smiling. Remember we were able to take off the lid. We thought it was so cool. Mom let us pop popcorn without the lid on. It was going everywhere. So we're like trying to catch it in our mouth. It was burning hot.
Because it had oil
Hey,
on it.
Carol, I remember that. We did it when me, you, and Melly and Laura V, whichever one of us did Dizzy. Dizzy, my head. Remember that, Cindy?
Oh, yeah.
The Cougarette moves. And we did that with the popcorn.
Yes.
I remember that.
I remember that, Carol, and that memory was one of mine that I was going to mention, was that
Cindy
one.
was our choreographer.
We don't have a video of that, do we? We don't have a video of that, do we? Probably not.
Probably not.
Hey, real quick, since you did the popcorn one, I was helping Dad make a milkshake in the kitchen one day, and he forgot to put the lid on tight, and the milkshake went everywhere. So I went running to tell Mom, and he grabbed me by the back of the neck and said, "You will not tell your mother."
And I remember the many drives with Kathy and hanging out with her and her country western songs. I'm like, are you kidding me? I cannot stand this stuff. As I got older, it's like, it's not so bad.
In her Celica.
My Celica.
So I don't know. I remember Mom always being pregnant, and I always got to play Mom when she was going to other people's to take care of the kids, which I thought was awesome. And I remember the many times with young men, young women, which was called mutual back in the day. But Mom always taking everybody in the family. She was, I don't remember what the callings you were, but it didn't matter what your calling was, Mom. You always took all your kids with you to whatever you could, young and old, to be a part of that. So I thought that was so awesome. And I really appreciate that. The end.
It's still called mutual.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people still call it that.
Just not called MIA.
Yeah.
My turn?
Mhm.
Yep.
So I remember Mom every Thursday was clean the house day, and she'd spend the whole day cleaning the house every Thursday, top to bottom. And really, I mean the whole day. And
Yeah.
probably do 6, 8
Exactly.
loads of laundry at the same time, fold all the laundry, put it on the kitchen table, the dining room table, and then we'd take it upstairs with us. Or she'd put it on the bottom of the stairs and we'd grab it as we went upstairs. Then Friday afternoon at 2 o'clock was her hair appointment at the beauty parlor. Every Friday.
That was
2
my
o'clock,
one treat to myself.
rain or shine, she would go to the beauty parlor to get her hair done.
Oh, look at cute Tom.
And then I was cute. And then once a year at Christmas time, we got to bring an extra pair of clothes to church. And after church was over, we would change our clothes in the VW bus and go buy a Christmas tree at a lot, the same lot every year down in Pacific Beach on the corner. And that was like our sitting Sunday, because we'd buy something on Sunday and we'd change our clothes before we got home. So we always went and got that perfect Christmas tree that she decorated every year. Then there's a million stories, but I'll tell a Scott story because he protected me once on my first High Sierra trek when I was 12 years old with the 13th Ward boys. And I don't remember who it was, but some of the 15, 16-year-old boys weren't being so nice to me. And Scott took care of that, so that was not a problem any longer, and never again. So he protected me as well, and all I had to do was ask for his help. The other things I remember was Mom cutting the grass with hand clippers, edging the grass in the front yard on her knees, and she passed that down to her sons, and that became my job. It was to edge and take care of the yard, so she taught me how to take care of the yards that way as well. And then I just remember all the cars we all went through and the Volkswagens. I drove the bus to high school and picked up kids for seminary, and then I took the bug. I've got a picture of Kathy and her Celica coming home from BYU one year. We were side by side in the freeway, and I took a picture out my window. So I've got that someplace around here too. But we were all just very lucky kids. Had a lot of freedom back then to take care of ourselves. Obviously, the whole older group was the Taco Bell crew, and that's where we needed something, went and earned money for it. And
I was next in line.
And those are some of my memories. There's a lot more, but those are a few. So thanks, Mom, for all that.
Tom was my manager. So was Carol.
Oh.
You guys stopped doing that right before I was going to be able to do it. But
How much did you guys get paid
Nobody's
when you're
manager.
working at
No, I
Taco
was
Bell?
Scott's manager for a while, and he
Started
said,
at 95 cents an hour.
what?
I got 3 cents a shell. For every shell that I fried, I got 3 cents.
And I fried tacos and tostadas. We got paid by the box. I think I got $3 a box.
How did we survive?
And then I'd ride my bike before seminary and clean up Taco Bell. Or I'd ride my bike to seminary from our house at the North Stake Center. Alf Gunn would honk at me as he passed me on the road in the dark. Then after school, or after seminary, I'd ride over to the Taco Bell on Balboa Avenue, empty the trash, wash it down, pick up the parking lot, and then ride my bike back to Einstein Junior High and go to school.
wow.
So we were taught to work hard early, like all of you guys were.
Yep. I remember all the Taco Bell glass collections you guys had.
Oh, I'll give you the picture. Mine's downstairs in our basement. I'll send you the picture. Because when we moved here and I unboxed everything, I put a bunch of stuff out. I've got all those glasses downstairs. Matter of fact, while you're talking, I'll go down there. But go ahead. Kathy's next.
Tom actually
I
made
remember-
Speedy Gonzalez.
I was gonna say, Tom used to give the Taco Bell glasses at Christmas time. Remember that?
And he
they were
put-
free.
Was
He put
Taco
foam
Bell
in
the
'em.
first job for all you guys? Was Taco Bell the first job for all of you?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
When we were older, after paper
Never
routes
worked
and everything else.
Nancy, how did I work at Taco Bell and you didn't?
I don't know. Did it close or something? Something happened to where I didn't get to do it. It was I
Nope.
thought it closed down or
Oh,
something.
there they are. Look at
Down
that.
and-
Gosh, look at them. Those are so cool.
This is my display room. I took one of my
Oh my
never had a
gosh.
basement before, so I just set all my stuff up.
Oh my gosh.
Awesome.
Instead of keeping everything in boxes when we moved, I just put it all over here.
Got a new drum. That's awesome.
That's
Never
so
come by.
I just saw your Tiny Naylor's picture.
Tiny Nailers.
I bought a Tiny Naylor's postcard off eBay last week.
So,
You guys all got one of those too. I
Different
didn't get
stuff.
one of those. I don't know what
You know,
happened.
if you Google Tiny Nailors, you can still buy T-shirts today with Tiny Nailors on it.
there's my picture. Can you see that? I can't see what I'm showing you.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Neat.
I'm excited to come to your house and see it.
So,
That's
anyways,
awesome.
yeah. And I got the bike so I can ride in the corner over there. Sheriff's jacket, all that stuff. Oh, wait, I'll show you one more thing.
So I
That
can
mom,
protect those glasses.
Mom
with
made
the
this.
breaks.
Mom sewed that backpack right there.
The blue one?
Oh,
Well,
I
with the
remember
Naylor
those.
on it.
Oh
She
my
sewed
gosh,
it
you
for
still got
Scott,
that.
I think. And then we all used it after that. So,
I think I even used one of those.
and then there's another picture right there.
Yeah.
That's so
Neat.
cool.
All kinds of stuff. So
That's
better
fun.
than
You take
drywall.
your grandkids down there, Tom?
Anybody can go in there.
But do you take your grandkids in there ever and show them everything? And tell them where it came
Oh,
from?
yeah, they've all been in there.
Oh, okay.
There's another good family pic. You might even have this one in your basement.
I like that one.
I
The
did
only
too.
person not in that one is Marion because she wasn't born yet.
Okay,
I think
Kathy,
that's
my
when you guys were
computer's
family
getting
of
low
the
on
year,
energy
right?
here.
What's
Isn't
that?
that the family of the year?
Was
I
that
think
the
that's
family of the year one?
year picture.
Yeah, that's the
in
family of the year
newspaper.
one, and I was expecting Marion.
In the newspaper. All right,
Okay,
Kathy.
Kat, take it away.
Okay. Okay, I'll try to be fast. I thought I was the only one that washed down Taco Bell. I'm glad to know, Tom, that you did it too, because that was, yeah, we didn't start first at inside Taco Bell. We started washing it down first. So anyway, but I have lots of fun memories with Cindy at BYU. I'm just going to go through everybody really fast. Being roommates with Cindy was so awesome and great. Scott, I remember, do you remember when the rattlesnake got in the rabbit cage? You guys, and we heard Scott screaming and we thought it was a girl because he screamed like a girl. And then we teased him forever about screaming like a girl. But there was a rattlesnake in his rabbit cage and it had killed some of his rabbits. Let's see. I remember going to Tom's basketball games all the time and just being so proud of Tom because he was so much shorter than everybody else, but he could get in between people and was just hot on the basketball court. I remember Terry when we went to Hawaii that he would get up early in the morning before everybody else and he'd go out and he'd gather all these blossoms that would fall off the trees and he'd make leis for us to wear. So I know the Aunt Betty Hawaii thing was the year before we moved to San Diego, and that was one of our, I think, greatest gifts from Aunt Betty was that vacation with my mom. I remember Paul, I gave you $1 if you would eat a whole jar of baby food that was peas. Because it was so disgusting.
Yeah.
And I remember
that.
you did it. But I also remember you used to get sunburned a lot and then you would peel a lot. And so we would all like to sit and peel your back because that's kind of gross. Yeah, I had a whole bunch of things, but some of you mentioned a lot of the other things. Christmas, the one Christmas with all the bikes, we couldn't forget that one. Marion, you don't remember us because I was at Dixie. Me and Mark were at Dixie when you were born. So we were already long gone. But I have great memories of going away to school with Mark. And I remember we actually were going back to school after Christmas the first year. And we hit Vegas about midnight for gas. And it sure didn't look like what Terry was showing on the strip. We couldn't even move. We couldn't even move. There were so many people that were drunk and half dressed, and it was a mess. And you just had to stop, and all these people cheered around you and carried on about New Year's Eve. Let's see. I just have all these things that were flooding through my head. I remember Marianne had so many of those little dolls that smelled. What were they?
Strawberry
shortcake.
My gosh, that you could smell the smell of them from her room going up the stairs because she had so many. Carol, me and Carol went to the Commodores concert. Carol, do you remember that? We went to Commodores and we were the only 2 white people in the whole section. It kind of creeped us out at first. That was clear back when Lionel Richie was a Commodore before he was Lionel Richie. But we had such a good time doing that. Let's see. There's just lots of memories and just, I don't know. I remember the breakfast we had with President Kimball when he came, and I think it might have been Paul that was going, "Why are we using the good dishes for breakfast? It's only breakfast." Like, this is how we always sit down and eat with China.
Yeah, I think that was me. Yeah.
So that was fun. But yeah, we should be writing all these down because the more you guys talk, it's like a lot of the ones that you have talked about, you've covered. I remember. I had forgotten about the warm water in the swimming pool. That warm water faucet in our garage was one of the greatest things we ever did. So, because the kids always had warm water in the pool when it would be cold. But that was just really, it was just fun. We have lots of fun memories growing up. We were talking about with the Volkswagen van. That was the first car I ever learned to drive a stick on. That's a big mistake, and I was the first person not to buy a bug. So I was kind of the rebel that way. Everybody else had bugs that was older than me. And then a few younger had bugs too. But I didn't get my first car till I was a senior in college though. So, there's just lots of fun stuff. There's lots of fun stuff. So we should all be writing this down.
Paul's recording
This is recorded. I'll put this one on YouTube also.
Oh, good. So, and I also remember, do you remember Scott and his GTO?
Yep.
And Scott always liked to be, was it Rambo that he used to like to watch? And he liked to be the guy with the,
I remember his car though.
remember his car? And yeah, but he was always the one that was sticking up for everybody else that he would go after. He always wanted to be a cool policeman or something, carrying a gun. But he always protected everybody. He'd be out there protecting everybody. I can remember taking Mark to the MTC when he left on his mission. Just fun stuff, lots of fun stuff. So I could go on forever, but I won't. But so move on to, Mark's not on, is he?
No.
Next.
No, Mark's not here. There's Grandma.
Okay.
Ari wants to say hi to Grandma.
Do you guys remember when Mark used to lay out in the backyard and always sunbathe? And the one time he cut out his girlfriend's name?
Julie.
Was it Julie?
It was Julie. Put it on his belly.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's a few memories I don't want to mention. I could tell you some other things.
Okay, is it my turn?
Hi, Aria.
Okay, I will go really fast because I know everybody's computers are probably, if they're not plugged in, mine's not either. So I just wanted to tell a Scott story because you guys have mentioned so many things I was going to talk about. So I want to tell a Scott story and a mom story really quick. So this is one of my favorite Scott stories. You guys all know Scott and I were really, really close growing up. And Scott would always do these kind, wonderful things. And it was always like he was my older brother and I was younger than him. So one day, I can't remember how old we were, but this started back way when he was young. And I'm thinking I was like 6 and he was 7. And it was back east and I was coming out of the church building and these 2 boys were teasing me. And Scott was just a little bit ahead of me on the sidewalk. And he turned around and he was smaller than these 2 boys that were being mean to me and were teasing me. And it didn't matter because he came and he just yelled at him and said, "You stay away from my sister." And it was the coolest thing because those 2 boys just turned and hightailed it back to the church. And I was so proud. It was like, I have got the coolest brother in the world. So anyway, that was a Scott story. Then well, I have to tell my other Scott story. And I don't know, Mom, if you'll remember this, but this is the kind of awesome mom we had because she could have we could have been in big hot water for weeks after this. And she ended up, just after she screamed, she ended up cracking up laughing. So when we lived in, we had that horse stable in our backyard. Mom, do you remember the house I'm talking about in Carmel? And
yeah.
so we had that horse stable in our backyard. Well, we also had lots of horned toads, or as Scott and I used to call them, horny toads. And we loved them. Like to this day, I love lizards. I just think they are the coolest thing. And so Scott and I, we'd catch these horned toads. And one day, Scott came up with a brilliant idea, because I thought it was brilliant, of taking the horned toad and putting it under a cereal bowl in the kitchen sink. And so when Mom went in there to do the dishes, the horned toad would scare her to death. And so we thought that was just the coolest thing ever. And we both were talking about, well, what if it squirted blood out of its eyes? Because that's a real true story about horned toads. And oh dear, I might get cut off. Anyway, and so the end of it is Mom got screamed and got scared, and it was just amazing that she didn't do anything, except for a couple minutes later, she just started laughing. So anyway, if I can get plugged in, this is my last story, and doggone it, I hope it doesn't cut me off. I'm trying to get my plug back in. So it was Mom, talk about Mom always being there for all of us, having so many kids, but being there for all of us. And I was at Dixie Rebelettes. We were doing a parade, was all it was, like not some great performance or competition or anything, but I was only there for 2 quarters. But Mom came up, drove up, and I don't know how many of you kids she brought with her, a bunch of kids, just to see me march in that parade. And then she turned around and drove back home. And sorry, and that had such an impact on me. And I thought, you know what? I hope if I ever get married and I'm a mom, that I let my kids know that they are so important to me, like Mom did that day to me with all she had going on in her life. So Mom, thank you for just always being there. I love Paul's story of you always being home when we came home from school. You taught me so many things about being kind and selfless and being there for my kids when they needed me, and I love you for it.
Thank you.
I'm
Love you
done.
all. Okay.
I think we should see what memories Helen has from our family.
I was just gonna say that.
I was thinking the same thing.
Or one wishes she didn't have.
Well, when I came into the family, let's see, Chris, were you 4?
Yeah, Susan says
We're
4.
4.
Right.
Yeah. And Marion was
A baby.
15 months, just about 15 months. And so I've actually watched a lot of you grow up, and it's been really fun, and it's been fun to be part of this family. I remember the first time I went to your house, it was on our honeymoon, and we drove across the desert in that van with we had, so that it didn't overheat, we had to drive with the heater on. And we got married in July. So it was pretty hot going across that desert with the heater on. And when we arrived, there was some sort of a ward fireside going on. And we pull in, we walk into the house, there's a whole bunch of people in like church clothes. And Scott and I have been sweating all the whole trip long. So that was my first, hey, welcome to the ward. But one of the other things, I don't know if you remember this, I'm sure Mom will remember this, was we were going to go to Disneyland. And this is, on the honeymoon. And Scott got a call from Dad before we were going to head out. And Dad was asking him if he would please paint the front of the house before he left. Because we were going to have the wedding reception there, and he wanted the front of the house. And Mom, I don't remember, but I think you were kind of mad. Does that ring a bell? Mom's still there?
Mom, are you still
Hey,
there?
can you mute whoever's not talking? Somebody's banging around.
Mom is frozen.
Well, anyway, Mom was mad, but Scott painted the front of the house before we left.
Wow.
So, it's that kind of stuff. And you know what? I really think that the way we do Christmas at our house totally came from the way you guys did Christmas at your house. With the exception of, we don't open presents one at a time. Because I remember it used to take you guys like all day.
Hours.
Like go around. Okay, it's your turn to open a present, your turn to open a present, just to make sure everybody got to see what people were getting and get the appreciation from the person that was giving it to them.
And then it got worse when we had to wait for Mimi and Grandpa to show up.
Yeah.
To wake up.
We wouldn't even start opening presents till like 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
That's what I said. The neighborhood kids would come and watch us because they were all done and they played with their stuff, and now they knew that we had to wait for our grandparents to get up. And
yeah.
And now we all have patience.
Soraya said that Mom's Wi-Fi stopped working, so they have to reboot the router. They'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
Sherry just texted me that she couldn't get on, but I'm trying to give her the link again, see if Sherry can pop in.
Kathy, I think you're muted.
Kathy, you're muted.
We can't hear you.
Muted? Hold on.
Now we can
There
hear
you go.
There we go. No,
Yeah.
Helen was a fabulous cook. I remember going to Helen's when I was in college a lot. Her and Scott, they always had tons of food, and she made beans and wieners a lot.
Yes. And I told Scott one time because there were some things that we did. We made on a regular basis.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tuna,
But you were
tuna
a good cook.
noodles, tuna noodle casserole. We used to do that.
Yeah.
And one time I told him, I said, you know what? If you really don't like a meal, let me know, because I'll be really mad if I make something for you on an anniversary dinner or something, or for your birthday. And you say, I hate tuna noodles. I don't know why you keep making tuna noodles, because I've never liked them. I said, just tell me, be honest. But he was pretty easy with anything he ate. He didn't care much. And I always kind of wondered about Scott's culinary training, because he used
Like
to
hot
make
dog casserole. Scott used to make gross stuff.
Or like,
Gross stuff.
okay, this is my favorite, Helen. My favorite is when it was Fast Sunday and he would get the box of Life cereal and he'd get the smallest mixing bowl and he'd pour it in there, pour tons of milk in there. He'd make it all sloshy and bleh, and then he'd come home from church and he'd eat it.
Oh, yeah.
And I picked that up from him, Cindy, because I started doing that when I was like 14
That's
years
why
old.
Susan's going like this.
Well, I think it's Paul that does the he takes a cookie, and you remember the water spout that used to be at Mom's old house? And
That's Ken.
That's Ken?
He
Yeah,
still does it today.
I still do it.
He'll soak his cookie with water. I'm like, bad teeth, Ken?
That all started because there was no milk one day when I wanted milk and cookies, so I tried water and I liked it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, can I say one thing that I remember Scott making that was, speaking of all his crazy cooking, one time he made a lasagna using all those little Hickory Farms cheese, just like 10 different types. Opening them up and mixing them all into this lasagna thing and making me eat it. And it was a little funky.
I remember a Scott story, but it won't probably be a very good story because I don't remember all the little fine points. But when I was living with Scott and Helen and their family for a little bit before I went to Dixie College and was roommates with Carol for a short time, we were at a light, stopped, and I don't know what the person in front of us did. This is when Scott was working in the prisons, and I don't know I don't remember what the guy did. But Scott got out of his car, and I was trembling. I was thinking somebody's gonna shoot Scott, and then you guys left, and I was at your house for like one night by myself, and I swear there was somebody looking around at everybody's houses. I looked outside. I was freaking out because I'm like, oh, Scott's made some enemies. He's made enemies. And what if that person is back here down? I was so scared.
Yeah.
Well, I have to run, say goodbye. Love you all.
Bye. Happy Mother's Day.
Hi, Kath. Love
All
ya.
right. Bye-bye.
Hey,
Love
Hi,
you.
Kathy.
Tell the girls hi.
yeah, I'm
Way long today. We're getting longer. I keep thinking
Yeah,
it'll be getting shorter.
I need to go in like 10 minutes or no, probably 5 minutes. That's why I keep going like this, looking at my clock.
Yeah, Jamie and her family are going to be here soon too, so I'll probably have to go.
yeah, I think I'm in trouble with Christy because I forgot to send her the link today.
Oh, well, tell her Happy Mother's Day.
I will. They're
Hey,
gonna
Ken,
go-
where's that wife of yours that was going to make an appearance?
She's coming. Come on over here, Terry Lynn.
So do you guys remember having the milkman in our house and bring us all the dairy products once a week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually rode with him one time on his route. Had to
Twice
get
a
up
week.
like
He
4 in
brought
the
milk
morning.
he brought milk twice a week.
Yeah, he took
Twice a
Paul
week,
and
yeah.
we had to get up at 4 in the morning to go with him.
I just thought that was the coolest thing. This guy just walked into our house and filled our refrigerator.
With milk.
Yep.
Oh, so when are we doing this next time? Are we doing it every 2 weeks?
Does 2 weeks sound good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think for the next one, I don't know, some of you weren't here when we started, but gonna try to have Uncle Jay talk about him and his brothers growing up and have the Jay and Ruth Naylors join us too.
Oh, cool. That'll be fun.
And according to Carol, it sounds like Aunt Betty will be able to join us as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be great. Well, I love you guys. I'm going to sign off. Paul,
Hey,
thanks.
Happy Mother's Day.
Terry, before you sign
Wait,
off,
we gotta say hi to Terry.
hi, Terry.
Hey, Terry.
Terry.
Happy Mother's Day.
Oh
Happy
my gosh,
Mother's
you look like Marissa. I thought you were Marissa at first, really quick.
You look just
Or
like her.
Marissa looks like you.
And
Yeah.
Marissa looks just like you. You could be her sister.
Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah.
Love you guys.
Love you,
Love you.
Terry. Thanks for making an appearance,
Bye, everybody.
guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye, Cindy.
Okay, I guess
All
mom's
right.
Wi-Fi is not working, so they couldn't get back on.
All right. Hey, Terry, I ordered one of those Meepo boards.
A what?
Did you good?
Electric
Electric skateboard?
Yeah,
electric skateboard.
You'll
Oh.
enjoy it. I gave it to my employees for Christmas. That was their present. And yeah, you'll really like it. Mine's a boosted board, but they're way more expensive and the
Yeah.
quality's just as good as what, you got. So
Yeah, everybody seems to compare it to the boosted board. That must be like the Cadillac of electric
It is.
skateboards. So
yeah, that
But
was
this
the first
one-
one out.
this one goes like 28 miles an hour. That's plenty fast for me.
Yep.
Whoa.
I saw some guy when I was working out the other day. He was riding like a little unicycle thing that's like
Oh, it's called a
Big.
one wheel.
one wheel. I've
Uh-huh.
never seen that before. And he's just
Yeah, they're
riding
pretty
along.
cool.
That was cool.
They're made by
Hey, I think-
Segway, and depending on how you lean on them, they go forward or backwards, and yeah, they're
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Gonna take some
Somebody's
time.
calling in.
Sherry getting on?
Hey, who just
think
called in?
that's
Is that
Sherry.
Sherry?
I think it is.
Yeah.
Actually, I gotta
Hey,
run
Sherry.
too. We got a dinner in 20 minutes with the
Sherry
kids.
Love
just
you,
joined in.
Terry.
We're all just
Already
signing
did.
off, Sherry.
Let's see you,
Bye,
Terry.
Terry.
Sherry.
Tell Suze happy Mother's Day.
How's your Mother's Day?
It's wonderful. Jared surprised me. He came up with all of his kids, and
Oh,
that's
yay.
why I couldn't come on sooner. They just already left.
Oh, how fun.
Tell her
Yeah,
you
he- that's what, yeah, that's what I wanted for Mother's Day. I said, I want hugs, and so they came to give me hugs.
Oh, how long of a drive is that?
3 hours.
Okay.
That
Can
was
Sherry
nice of
hear
you to
all
make
of
your
us?
trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear everybody.
Oh, happy Mother's Day, Sherry. It's Nancy. I got this gnat that will not
Thank
stop
you.
driving me nuts.
So Sherry, we were sharing memories. Do you have any memories from growing up?
No, they're all gone.
Not spur of the moment.
I'm
Well,
so
I'm going to
blank.
put this on YouTube. You can watch it if you want, Sherry. I'll post the link for everybody.
Okay, because I don't have a picture. All I have is the voices. I can't see anybody, but I can hear you.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're gonna do this every 2 weeks, right? So
Yep, we'll do it again in
You'll be
2
able to
weeks.
get
I'll put the link up again.
Next time
Okay,
one of your
super.
kids comes, ask him to help you set it up.
I will.
We love you,
I'll try
Sherry.
to set it. I'll set it before then because we're doing this for church too. So
Oh yeah.
Okay.
love you guys too.
All right, love you.
Love
Glad you made
you.
it on, Sherry. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks.
All right. Love
Okay,
you.
bye.
Love you.
Happy
Bye.
Mother's Day.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy Mother's Day. Oh, Mom just came back on.
Oh, hey, Mom, we're signing
Have a
off.
great Mother's Day.
We're
Mom,
signing
I
out,
love
Mom.
you. Happy Mother's Day.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Same to you guys.
Sherry's saying Happy Mother's Day, Mom.
Oh, thank you, Sherry. Thank you.
You're
everybody.
welcome.
Mom, you're looking so good. You look young.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
like your
my-
hairstyle.
My
I like your
hair is
hairstyle.
driving me crazy.
I know, but I like it. I think it looks really good.
So,
Did you guys
I
just
know,
have
we
a,
all need haircuts.
just have a power outage? Is that what happened?
yeah, power
Oh.
went out. So,
Why?
everybody else all gone?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
everybody's
just
got to go.
5 of us left.
So
All right, I'm
I'm
going to click end meeting. Here we go.
Okay,
All right.
love you guys.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Mom.